Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamlam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijan Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishavanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripasindhubhaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming. So quick announcement that as I had mentioned at our last class, that tomorrow, Sunday, May 11th, is offenses to avoid class. It's at batch number 5. So it's going to be Toronto time, 9:30 a.m. India time is 7 p.m. and Nepal time is 7:15 p.m. All of you should aim to attend this additional class or try to listen to the class recording, because offenses is the single most item to ensure that we don't do offenses, so that we progress on the path of spirituality quickly. For my request for the unique place, thank you all for sending me the unique place. Most of the answers are unique. So my question is to all of you present here and those who will be listening. Has anyone been to Maldives except Janisha? Okay. So we'll use Janisha and her travel to Maldives as an example, and it's actually perfect that Janisha is from Nepal, as well as she has also visited India. So many of us are from India and Nepal, as well as also serves the unique place. So at our upcoming class, we'll use Janisha and her travel to Maldives as an example. You'll realize the importance of this point. We also welcome Jeet Prabhu. Jeet Prabhu, you can try to connect your audio, and he's also in the process of listening to class recording to get caught up. Even though you are joining partway,
Yeah.
feel free to ask any and all questions.
Thank you very much. I'm connected to audio, yeah.
All right, very good. So we will continue with chapter 7. So we discussed at our last class about hearing the scriptures from bona fide sources as the most important activity. Now at the start, I want to highlight a caution here that if your hearing of Bhagavad Gita becomes weak, meaning you are not regular in hearing Bhagavad Gita, not regular in hearing Srila Prabhupada lectures that I post in the WhatsApp, then your spirituality becomes weak. Then you will notice that you are getting away from Bhagavad Gita study and getting away from Krishna consciousness. And simultaneously, material taste is anyway right there. and material taste props up again. Therefore, as soon as any one of you misses a class, I will immediately connect with you whether you can listen to class recording or not, to ensure that there is no breakage in the hearing process. Now, if you are not diligent in listening to class recording, by sending me at least one striking point and at least one inquiry from each class recording that you listen to, then Maya is right there. Meaning, material taste will keep pulling you away from Bhagavad Gita and spirituality. So it's okay to miss a class. But what you have to do is follow up by listening to class recordings as soon as it is possible for you to listen to the class recording. Further, when you are traveling, say to your home country or anywhere, or say you have a function such as marriage or whatever big function in your family, and you do not have the discipline to listen to Bhagavad Gita recordings or Srila Prabhupada recordings, and do not have discipline to read Bhagavad Gita regularly, then you will keep going away from Bhagavad Gita and spirituality, because material taste is very strong and material taste is right there. Therefore, I request all of you that it's okay to miss a class, nothing wrong with it. But as soon as you miss a class, just get the recording. I don't need to know the reason why you missed the class. I never ask a reason. All I want to ensure is that this does not become a cycle and that material taste does not take over you. To ensure this, you need to ensure your hearing is regular. Now, many devotees with whom I try to follow up as to how is the progress on Bhagavad Gita study and listening to recordings, they actually think, and some have actually said this, actual words they have said, what is the problem with this Rajesh? Why is he following up with me? Arey Baba, I am trying to get you stay connected. So that material whirlpool does not drag you away. Everybody okay with the plan that if you miss a class, to listen to class recording as soon as is possible for you, as well as when you listen to the class recording, from each class recording, you should send me at least one striking point and at least one inquiry. Everybody okay with the plan?
Hare Krishna, yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So today, I will start with a question. What is our bottom line goal? Everybody please try to answer. We are here, we have been studying for more than 6 months almost. So what exactly is our bottom line goal? You should know your goal. Everybody please answer. What is our bottom line goal while we are pursuing spirituality? Everybody? Quickly.
To get rid of the materialistic life we have.
All right. The rest of you, what is our bottom line goal?
To be closer to Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay, very good. Dara also says to be closer to Krishna. Okay.
To Godhead.
Malti, repeat.
Go to Krishna Dham, go to.
All right. Janisha?
To get a liberation.
Okay.
Cycle of
Okay, Paulami says to be focused in devotional service. Sama says to go back to Godhead. Okay, rest of you, what is our bottom line goal?
Bhakti.
Okay. Anuradha says to get out of birth and death cycle and serve the Lord, get closer to the Lord. Okay, very good. Chandar says to have peace. Okay, could be a challenge. Okay, Ritu says to spend more time on spirituality. Manish says meaningful connection with ourselves and Krishna. Okay. What is our bottom line goal? So many of you say you want to go back home to Godhead. How are you going to achieve this? Some say peace. How are you going to achieve this? Everybody, please answer. What is our bottom line goal in pursuing spirituality? Abhishek says to be steady in practice. How will you become steady, Abhishek Prabhu? Raksha says to develop loving feelings. Okay, Raksha, how will you develop loving feelings? Polami says transfer focus from material to Krishna. Okay, how will you do it? So what is our bottom line goal? How all these answers that you gave are good answers. How will you achieve all these points? Okay, Anuradha says only when we are consistent and dedicated. Okay. Everybody, you like my question? What is our bottom line goal? Those who didn't answer, what is our bottom line goal in pursuing spirituality? All right. So our bottom line goal, so many of you, what you answered is correct. How to achieve this? Our bottom line goal is to remember Krishna 24 hours. So that when we leave the body, we remember Krishna and go back home to Godhead. So our today's discussion, as well as further upcoming discussion, should make it easier to perceive Krishna's presence 24 hours around us via his energies present around us. So the whole Krishna includes Krishna and his energies, as is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, that when Srila Vyasadeva got darshan of the Lord, Srila Vyasadeva saw Krishna together with his energies. So some pseudo-spiritualist or some Babaji tells you that he will show you God in 2, 3, 4, 6 months. Run very far away from him, because it is not possible for him to show you God. God can only be seen when God himself reveals. Until then, we have to perceive God via his energies present around us. We'll read Srimad Bhagavatam verse exactly for this point. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 11, when Arjuna saw the universal form, it was only when Krishna revealed the universal form is when Arjuna was able to see. The universal form was already there existing. But only when Krishna revealed is how Arjuna was able to see the universal form. Therefore, anyone tells you he will show you God in X number of months, run very far away from him, because it is not possible for anyone to show you God unless God himself reveals himself. Now, I had given you, all of you, a mandatory spiritual endeavor. Many of you did complete. Thank you for it. I will bring up on screen. Now, some of you did not complete that spiritual endeavor. You will soon realize that how important that spiritual endeavor is, which you have missed. So all those devotees who did not complete the last spiritual endeavor, I request you to please have an offline chat with me immediately to ensure that your contamination does not magnify. I had specifically said it's a mandatory spiritual endeavor, and still some of you chose not to complete this spiritual endeavor. You will soon realize when you see the spiritual endeavor completed by many devotees, many of you did complete. It's only few of you who did not complete. Immediately you should have a chat with me. Now, some of you are behind on listening to class recordings, and your thought process is that you will catch up first and then do the current endeavor. It's a wrong approach. I have described multiple times. If you miss class recordings or if you are behind, what you have to do is you have to ensure on a go forward basis you are doing everything what is required in the class, and little by little get caught up on the past recordings. If you try to always catch up first, well, you will always be behind. You will never be able to catch up. So you have to change your approach. If you continue to do by yourself, well, you are not taking help and advantage of what spirituality is asking you to do. You are just continuing the way you have been continuing with your contaminated mind. So you have to change. Bhagavad Gita is meant for transformation. So you have to change your approach if you are interested in progressing on the path of spirituality. Otherwise, you are just in a whirlpool. So I'll repeat, very important that all those devotees who did not complete this very, very important mandatory spiritual endeavor, it's just few of you, you should please have an offline chat with me on this point. All right, so we will continue from chapter 7, verse number 2 onwards. Abhishek Prabhu, verse number 2 translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, 7.2. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know.
You read the Sanskrit of 7.2, the words jnana and vijnana are there. So normally, other places in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada has translated jnana as theoretical knowledge and vijnana as realized or transformational knowledge. In 7.2, Prabhupada has translated jnana as phenomenal knowledge and vijnana as numinous knowledge. So what does this phenomenal and numinous mean? Phenomena means things as they appear to us, and noumena means things as they actually are, independent of our sense perception. So what's the difference? Reality is not as it appears to our eyes. The important point is, Krishna is saying, I will give you both these, the jnana and vijnana, meaning what you are seeing and what actual reality is. So in 7.2 verse, Krishna says, having known this knowledge, having acquired this knowledge, nothing will remain to be known further. Do you all agree with this statement? Everybody, please answer. Do you agree that if you read Bhagavad Gita, nothing further will remain to be known to you? Yes, no, silence. Somebody? Okay, Padma Kumar Prabhu agrees. All right. I will soon cloud this, my question. Anybody else? Do you agree with this statement?
Yes, Prabhuji.
All right. Let me cloud this statement. Let me cloud my inquiry. Don't we often say that Bhagavad Gita is just ABCD graduate level of knowledge? Then we have Srimad Bhagavatam, which is postgraduate level of knowledge. And then we have Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is a doctoral level of knowledge. So what does it mean? Krishna is saying that once you study Bhagavad Gita, there is nothing more to be known. Do you all agree? And those of a couple of devotees who answered yes, do you agree? Chandar says yes. Okay. Agree to what?
I think the Bhagavad Gita is telling in how to deal our mind in reverse situation, and that's what and once we deal that, we can deal with ourselves, and everything falls in the place what is needed.
Okay, mind is just one component that is explained in Bhagavad Gita. There's a lot more in Bhagavad Gita. Focus is more on devotional service. But then I clouded my question that don't you have Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita to also read?
Yeah, that should be next one, I guess.
Yeah, so do you agree or disagree with 7.2? Krishna says, nothing further shall remain for you to know. Chanda, do you agree or disagree?
Yes, I completely agree. Like the main problem is with us to deal ourselves in the situations
I
and
agree.
with this body and mind and senses and all that. That's all the problem is.
I agree to the problem situation, but don't you have Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita to read?
Yeah, we should read actually.
But
It's
then
not
how do you, so you are contradicting your own statements that you are saying yes to one and then yes to the other also. So is it, what exactly is
well,
your,
if the Krishna is saying maybe we don't need that.
okay. But we have heard so many places, we read Srimad Bhagavatam every day also almost. All right, Abhishek Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I see two understandings here. One is that Bhagavad Gita in itself is sufficient for us to go back to spiritual world. So in that sense, it's complete. And then like other scriptures are there, like the essential principles are already present in Bhagavad Gita, and then other scriptures take us more into details on the same principle. So they they add on to the knowledge.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Was it Anuradha or somebody wanting to speak?
Yeah, but Prabhuji was me.
Okay, Tara, go ahead.
Yeah, so my understanding is that Bhagavad Gita is the base and it is absolute. But for us to understand deeper, we could read other scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Okay, very good. So Abhishek Prabhu was bang to the point, correct. So let me explain that how do you understand Krishna's statement where he says if you know this, meaning Bhagavad Gita, then nothing further shall remain for you to know, when we know that we also have to read Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we also know that Bhagavad Gita is ABCD, then Srimad Bhagavatam is higher knowledge, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is still higher knowledge. So when Krishna is saying nothing more to be known, means in terms of principles, you will understand the principles completely from Bhagavad Gita. And details about Krishna are infinite. So in terms of principles, there will be nothing more for you to know, and details are endless. So the examples of principles that we need to know, such as absolute truth or Krishna is a person. Absolute truth, Krishna, can be attained by bhakti. The absolute truth, Krishna, is Bhakta Vatsal. These are fundamental principal truths outlined in Bhagavad Gita, while details are endless. So what Chandra was saying, that we have to deal with the mind, yes, that is one small component as far as we are concerned in terms of principle also. Yes, it's a principle that we have to deal with our mind also, mind and senses also. But in terms of principles, there are many principles. Bhagavad Gita has all the principles. You do not need to worry to go to other scriptures for principles. So Bhagavad Gita provides you the principles and God's identity. Bhagavad Gita helps us understand who is God. Is the absolute truth a person or impersonal? If absolute truth is a person, who is this person? The answer is Bhagavad Gita helps us understand Krishna is God and Krishna is a person. In Bhagavad Gita, the glory of Krishna's pastimes are talked about in 4.9, but specific pastimes are not explained in detail in Bhagavad Gita. Then Srimad Bhagavatam has God's activities and pastimes, and Chaitanya Charitamrita has God's mentality, means God's heart, God's mind. What does God think? What does God desire? What does God like and dislike? All these are described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Therefore, there is a progression that in Bhagavad Gita is your ABCD. In terms of principles, 100% is described. Then you progress to the next level, Srimad Bhagavatam, to understand more about the activities and pastimes of the Lord. And then you go still deeper in Chaitanya Charitamrita to understand God's heart and mind and what he likes and dislikes. Everybody on the same page? Does that answer the question?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Now, here's a follow-up question. So, are the details not important in Srimad Bhagavatam? Shouldn't we be studying that first? Yes, no, everybody? Somebody? So the details are also important. The details, meaning the activities and pastimes, also illuminate Krishna's glories. And the details and the activities and the pastime make remembrance of Krishna more relishable. But it is just that the details come later. What comes initially is Bhagavad Gita are the incremental principles, the fundamental principles from Bhagavad Gita increase our understanding about Krishna gradually. And once we have a solid understanding of Bhagavad Gita, then the details, meaning the activities and pastimes in Srimad Bhagavatam, will be more relatable and easy to understand. If we simply jump to Srimad Bhagavatam directly, then not only we will not understand the pastime, we will actually misunderstand. So many devotees, they tell to newcomers, oh, just study Bhagavatam. Are Baba, it's a wrong advice. You go step by step. Srila Prabhupada has specified in Srimad Bhagavatam and his scriptures, don't jump, go step by step. So you all will have the opportunity to join a new batch of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is targeted to start mid-July of 2025, just a few months away. By July 2025, you would have completed up to Bhagavad Gita chapter 10. That's a lot of basic information that you have, and simultaneously you start Srimad Bhagavatam if your time allows. That is a proper process. Yes, the proper is you can also try to complete the entire Bhagavad Gita, but you have a lot of enough information by chapter 10 because you're going to get a very important homework in chapter 10 also. You will realize why I am saying about chapter 10. Questions, comments, realizations? All right. Chandar, verse number 3 translation. Chandar. Deepa, verse number 3 translation.
Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection hardly one knows me in truth.
So Krishna is highlighting the rarity of knowledge about him. Why is this knowledge rare? Because most people are caught up in animal propensities, meaning materialistic way of life. Plus, religious people also get caught up in these because most people practice religion as a means for dharma, artha, kama, moksha, meaning karma kanda level. So even those who are religious, they pursue religion for eating, mating, sleeping, and defending, because many use dharma to attain artha, kama, and moksha. Hence, Krishna is saying that very few endeavor for transcendence. Now, in this chapter 7, subsection 2 is verses 4 to 7, which describes how Krishna is source of everything material and spiritual. Dara, verse number 4 translation.
Text 4. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 constitute my separate material energies. Hare Krishna.
So, what does separated energies mean? Answer is, Srila Prabhupada would give a simple example to explain this, that milk comes from cow. Milk is energy of cow. It is not that wherever milk is present, the cow also has to be present there. No. So the milk is separate energy from the cow. And also Srila Prabhupada gives another example that Srila Prabhupada gave all these lectures which are recorded, and recording is available for people to listen to. So recording is Srila Prabhupada's voice or Srila Prabhupada's energy. But Srila Prabhupada is not present wherever the recording is being played. This way we understand that Krishna's energies are spread all over, and Krishna has his original separate existence. We will read the purport for paragraph for verse number 4. Let's see. Malti, you can read paragraph number 1, 2, which describe the three Vishnu. You can skip the Sanskrit if you like.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Your voice is not clear.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, go ahead now.
Purport. The science of God analyze the constitution.
Malti, your voice keeps breaking. We'll let somebody else read. You can fix your connection. Manish
Okay.
Prabhu, read paragraph 1 and 2, purport, verse number 4.
Hare Krishna. For material creation, Lord Krishna's plenary expansions assumes
You are read from first and second paragraph.
the science of God analyzes the constitutional position of God and his diverse energies. Material nature is called Prakriti. Energy of the Lord in his different Purshua, which is incarnations, is described in the Satavada Tantra. For material creation, Lord Krishna's plenary expansions assumes three Vishnus. The first one, Mahavishnu, create the total material energy known as the Mahatattva. The second, Garbho Dakshe Vishnu, enters into all universe to create the diversities in each one of them. The third, Kisro Dakshai Vishnu, is diffused as all the pervading super soul in all universes and is known as Paramatma. He is present even within the atoms. Anyone who knows these three Vishnus can be liberated from material entanglement.
Okay, so these two paragraphs describe the three Vishnus, the Karanodakshay Vishnu, the Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and the Shirodakshay Vishnu. I will be showing you visuals for all these as we progress. Malti, are you now able to read paragraph number 3, which starts this material world?
Yes, Prabhuji. This material world is temporary manifestation of one of the energies of the Lord. All the activities of the material world are directed by these three Vishnu expansion of Lord Krishna. These Purushas are called incarnations. Generally, one who does not know the science of God Krishna assumes that the material world is for enjoyment of the living entities and that the living entity are Purusha, the causes of controls and enjoyers of the material energy. According to the Bhagavad Gita, this atheistic conclusion is false.
So atheistic people's conclusion is not correct. Atheistic people assume that material world is for enjoyment of living entities. That is not correct. Material world is energy of the Lord, and we are also energies of the Lord, and everything is meant to be used in service of the Lord. Questions, comments, realizations? Matan Prabhu, verse number 5 translation.
Hare Krishna. Beside these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mine, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature.
So apara means inferior, which is material energy, and para means superior, which is living entities, meaning all of us as souls. We are superior to the inferior material nature. Okay, Megha will read the purport for verse number 5, and I'll stop you partway.
Hare Krishna. Here it is clearly mentioned that living entities belong to the superior nature or energy of the Supreme Lord. The inferior energy is matter manifested in different elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Both forms of material nature, namely gross and subtle, are products of the inferior energy. The living entities who are exploiting these inferior energies for different purposes are the superior energy of the Supreme Lord, and it is due to this energy that the entire material world functions. The cosmic manifestation has no power to act unless it is moved by the superior energy. The living entity. Energies are always controlled by the energetic, and therefore the living entities are always controlled by the Lord. They have no independent existence.
So the energies have no independent existence. They are always controlled, including us also. We are always controlled, whether or not we understand, whether or not we like it. We are always controlled by the Lord. Questions, comments, realizations?
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So the mind, intelligence, and false ego, they are also matter.
You are correct.
So they are not, we cannot see them actually.
So you can perceive them. You can't see them. Why you cannot see them is they are subtle. Subtle means that they are so fine that it is impossible for us to see them. But yes, mind is also material. Intelligence is also material as long as we are in the material body. Matan Prabhu?
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, what does it mean that we are always controlled? Like, in what sense?
Yeah. So Srimad Bhagavatam gives an example for this, that we are under the illusion that we are controllers, therefore we are sent in the material world. So we all were in spiritual world and we all became envious of Krishna and we wanted to be controller. That why is Krishna only the controller? No, I want to be the controller. And Krishna says in the spiritual world, only Krishna can be the controller, nobody else. And if you want to be the controller, then you will have to go to the material world where you will have the illusion of control. Even in the material world, we are not the controllers. The example given in Srimad Bhagavatam for this is, say when a child, small child, is very adamant that he wants to drive the car. He is so tiny, cannot even reach the paddle to drive the car, but he wants to hold the steering, and the parent holds the child in a lap and the child is holding the steering, and the parent is driving the car, and the child thinks that the child is driving the car. This same way, we are under the illusion, like this child driving the car. We are under this illusion in the material world that we are controllers. We are never the controllers. We are always controlled by Krishna. Even in the material world, Krishna is the controller. Abhishek Prabhu?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
All right. Monica will read verse number 6, translation and purport, faster pace.
all created beings have their source in these two natures of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, known for certain that I'm both the origin and the dissolution. Everything that exists is a product of matter and spirit. Spirit is the basic field of creation, and matter is created by spirit. Spirit is not created at a certain stage of material development. Rather, this material world is manifested only on the basis of spiritual energy. This material body is developed because spirit is present within matter. A child grows gradually to boyhood and then to manhood because their superior energy, spirit, soul is present. Similarly, the entire cosmic manifestation of the gigantic universe is developed because of the presence of the supersoul Vishnu. Therefore, spirit and matter, which combine to manifest this gigantic universal form, are originally two energies of the Lord, and consequently, the Lord is the original cause of everything, a fragmental part and parcel of the Lord. Naming the living entity may be cause of a big skyscraper, a big factory, or even a big city, but he cannot be the cause of a big universe. The cause of the big universe is the big soul or the super soul. And Krishna, the supreme, is cause of both the big and small souls. Therefore, he is the original cause of all the causes. This is confirmed in the Katha Upanishad 2.2.13. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetanamam.
All right, very good. So, material world is manifested on the basis of spiritual energy. It's described in Srimad Bhagavatam about creation that all these material world elements, such as the modes and many other elements, they were sitting idle, doing nothing. And when Lord entered the universe as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, that's when they all started to getting mixed and creation happened. Or even within our body, when say a child is born dead, the body does not grow. It is because of the presence of the soul, meaning the spiritual energy within the body, is how the body grows and functions. So there's a question posted about the analogy that I just described about the child wanting to drive the car. He is in this illusion. I'm not sure what more to explain. So we are under the illusion where we think I am the controller. But the fact is, we just read that we are energies of the Lord, and the energies are always controlled by the Lord, whether it is material energy or whether it is spiritual energy. And we are, as souls, are also energies. So the example is given, meaning the analogy is given, which I described, that the child has the illusion that he is driving the car simply by holding the steering wheel, but he is never driving the car. Similarly, we are sent to the material world because we wanted to be the controllers. So we are under this illusion that I am a controller. We don't control anything in the material world. Does that answer the inquiry?
Yes.
Janisha?
So, Prabhuji, as mentioned in this purport, what is big soul, small souls, and super soul?
So big soul and super soul refers to Krishna. So Krishna is the original person from whom everybody emanates. And I'll be showing you visual for this, that via many incarnations comes the three Vishnus. The first Vishnu is Karnodakshaya Vishnu, the next Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, comes from Karnodakshaya Vishnu, And from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu comes Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. This Kshirodakshaya Vishnu expands as the Paramatma within us. That's the point being made, that yes, the original soul is always Krishna, and through the various expansions, one of the Vishnu, which is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, expands as the super soul, meaning the Paramatma within us. Janisha?
Prabhuji, what kind of soul are small souls?
Small souls means we individual living souls, we are just a tiny, like a part and parcel. So Krishna is the ocean and we are just a drop. Therefore, we are called as small souls.
Okay, got it.
Very good. Okay, let's see. Padma Kumar Prabhu, verse number 7, translation and purport.
O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me. My pearls are strung on a thread. Purport: there is a common controversy over whether the supreme absolute truth is personal or impersonal. As far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, the absolute truth is the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, and this is confirmed in every step. In this verse, particularly, it is stressed that the absolute truth is a person. That the personality of Godhead is the supreme absolute truth is also the affirmation of Brahma Samhita Ishwaram Param Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. That is, supreme absolute personality of Godhead is Lord Krishna, who is the primeval God, the reservoir of all pleasure, Govinda, and the eternal form of complete bliss and knowledge. This authority leave no doubt that absolute truth is the supreme person, the cause of all causes. The impersonalists, however, argue that on the strength of Vedic version given in Rata Bharata Upanishad 3.10, Tato Yat Uttara Tarun Harupam Anamayam Yat Chatat Vidur Amrata Ya Bhavanti Ate Kare Dukkam Eva Piyanti. In this material world, Dhamma, the premier living entity within the universe, is understood to be the supreme among the demigod, human beings, and lower animals. But beyond Dhamma, there is a transcendence which has no material form and is free from all material contamination. Anyone who knows him also becomes transcendental, but those who do not know him suffer the miseries of the material world.
So, controversy is whether the absolute truth is a person or not. So we read from the verse in the purport that there is no truth higher than Krishna. And so what is Krishna referring to? Mayavadis think this form of Krishna is not the highest. Their idea is that beyond this form of Krishna, there is the impersonal reality, which is the highest. But this is incorrect. We clearly read this in the purport that me refers to me, Krishna. There is no room to interpret the word me. And further in chapter 14, verse number 27, Krishna will go on to explain that the Brahma Jyoti, Brahman effulgence, is sustained by Krishna. So Mayavadis have this misconception and they have this upside down, that they think that Brahman effulgence is the highest, but that is incorrect. And 7.7 is a well-known verse as a pearl verse. The metaphor of pearl is to convey that how he is the underlying force and how he pervades everything within this world. Example, your japa beads. What we see is beads. But what is going through the beads is the thread. That thread is Krishna. Just because he is the highest truth does not mean he is far away. He is right within us. He is accessible to us. So thus this first part of chapter 7 establishes how Krishna is the source of all energies, material and spiritual, and everything is sustained by Krishna. There is no truth higher than Krishna. He is pervading the entire world just as a thread pervades the necklace. The thread is the essence of a necklace. The thread enables the necklace to exist as a functional whole. Similarly, it is Krishna who allows everything to exist in the material world as a functional whole. Questions, comments, realizations? Chandra?
Prabhuji, it's saying like the beads on the string or the pearls on the string. So is that mean that Krishna's different forms and the whole form? I don't know if my question is clear.
No, clarify your question. What exactly is your question?
Like we see there is maybe that's why understanding Krishna is so complicated. It's not easy to understand him. It's very confusing at the time.
You are correct. You are correct that Krishna is very difficult to understand, but don't worry about it. You will understand.
Like why it's saying the beads and the string?
So analogy is explained with the pearl example or the beads and the necklace. So if you look at a necklace, what holds the necklace together is the string that is going through the necklace. The string that is holding the necklace together allows the necklace to function as a necklace. The string is the basis that makes the necklace a necklace. Yes, there are beads also. I'm not denying that part. Similarly, Krishna pervades the entire material existence via his energies. And that's how the material world can function as a material world. We are never independent of Krishna. We may think, I am independent, I can do whatever I want, but that's not possible. That's not correct. Chandra?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. It clears up.
And
Thanks.
to Chandra's question, Krishna will go on to explain in 7.12. This is a continuation of thought. So what will happen from this point on in up to first 7 verse and specifically in 7.7, we read that Krishna pervades everything. How Krishna pervades everything, the examples are given in chapter 7 verses 8, 9, 10, 11 for which you got the homework. And then in chapter 12, to further clarify what Chandra was just asking about this confusion, Krishna will go on to explain in 7.12 that Krishna is not limited to just these energies like the thread running through the necklace or the other energies that are pervading. No, Krishna has also his own separate existence in the spiritual world, as the Shyam Sundar form of Krishna. And this is the Achinta Bhed Abhed Tattva, meaning simultaneous oneness and difference, which was introduced by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chandar, does that further clarify?
One more thing, Prabhuji, that Vigraha, something like Vigraha comes again and again. Satchit Ananda Vigraha.
Yeah.
Can you explain that? What is that really, actually?
So, Satchidananda Vigraha refers to Krishna's form is complete in Sat, Chit and Ananda. So, if you follow the yoga ladder class, I had explained that Brahman effulgence, there's only one component. Paramatma, there are two components, meaning Sat and Chit are there up to Paramatma realization. But the bliss, means the Ananda is not there. In Bhagwan realization, you have all these three components, meaning Sat, Chit, and Ananda, the bliss. That's the Bhagwan realization. And therefore, it is called as the highest and the complete realization. His form, means his Vigraha, is full in Sat, Chit, and Ananda. Other spiritual realizations are lower, meaning Brahman realization is the lowest. Next higher is Paramatma realization. They are partial. They only have Sat and Chit.
So in practical world, if we talk about like our this Kali Yuga and the time and the North American lifestyle, is that we can say in simple form, it's like happiness, kind of like always happy?
There is no happiness in the material world.
Okay.
Material world is a place of misery, period. You read 8.16, there is no such thing as happiness in the material world. Srimad Bhagavatam describes what we call as happiness in the material world is cessation of misery. That's what we call as happiness. But that is not happiness. Happiness does not exist in the material world. If you are looking for happiness, you will have to go to spiritual world. All this discussion is coming up very, very soon.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
And Chandar, you have not listened to the recording from chapter 2 where we have discussed this point. One of the questions I had asked everyone that between happiness and distress, what will you prefer? Many of the devotees do answer, I'm looking for happiness. And I point out to 8.16 saying, well, happiness does not exist in the material world. So if you want to become happy, you will have to purify yourself and go back home to Godhead. That's where you will find real happiness. Chandar?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Everybody on the same page? All right. So we discussed in 7.7 how Krishna is the essence of everything, how Krishna pervades everything. And to explain this, that how Krishna pervades everything is described in this chapter 7, verses 8, 9, 10, and 11. So this is chapter 7, section 1, subsection 3, verses 8 to 12. Title is Krishna pervades everything. So I want everyone to answer this. Everyone. Previous question, some of you skipped. I want this question, everyone to answer. My question is, I have asked you so many open-ended questions from the start of Bhagavad Gita. From all those open-ended questions, which question you hated the most? Or I should say, which question was a real eye-opener question, or which question was the most baffling question? Everybody, please answer quickly. We have a lot to cover. Everybody, please answer. From all the open-ended question that I've asked, which question you hated the most, or which question was a real eye-opener, or was the most baffling question, whichever way you want to look at it. Everybody, quickly.
Prabhuji, I can answer only for the eye-opener one, that there is no happiness in the material world.
Yeah, so okay, very good. So my question is one, I'm just saying which is the most hated question, or the real eye-opener question, or the most baffling. The answer is one. I'm just saying whichever way you want to look at the question. But okay, about happiness. Okay, rest of you quickly answer. Okay, woodcutter and the axe analogy was eye-opener. Okay. Rest of you quickly answer, Raksha.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, the one that you had asked, what do you see around? That
Okay.
would be a bit confusing.
All right. Rest of you quickly answer.
We are not body aware, so
Okay, that
it
wasn't a
was the
question.
eye.
That was just a fact. Okay. Padma Kumar Prabhu says today's question about 7.2. Okay, BG principle 7. Okay. Rest of you quickly answer. What question has been like a standout question, like a most hated or eye opener or baffling, whichever way you want to look at it. Yeah. Another answer is question important, answer important. Okay. Okay. 7.2 question. Okay. What is freely available? All right. Somebody, rest of you who have not answered, what is the standout question that I have asked so far? Not today, from our start of Bhagavad Gita. Tara?
I don't remember exactly, but it was something like if Krishna does things like stealing and dancing with gopis and all that, all his leelas, if he is doing it, is it okay for us to do it?
All right, so it's from chapter 3. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, rest of you, everybody please answer. Okay, women are not intelligent, confusing. All right. Rest of you have not answered. What question stood out from the so many open-ended questions that I have asked from beginning? Deepa says, what can you see around like Raksha? All right. Rest of you? Quickly, please. Hare Krishna. Many of you have not yet answered. Hare Krishna. Please answer. What question stood out from the so many questions I have asked from start of Bhagavad Gita? All right. The rest of you are choosing not to answer. So, the answer that Raksha and Deepa gave, what can you see? Do you all agree that this was probably the most hated question, or a real eye-opener, or a most baffling question? Everybody? Yes, no? Silence, I got silence. What can you see? Didn't you all got stumped? What do you mean, what can you see? Hare Krishna, I got silence from all of you. Do you agree that what can you see question was the most baffling for you all?
Yes, Prabhuji, we answered all material stuff we see in front of us.
All right, very good. I'm going to come to that. Hare Krishna.
To me, it was like not to worship demigods.
All right. But I'm asking, were you all not baffled by this question? What can you see?
Yes, I'm really shocked by that. Still, I am.
All right.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So the funny part is, do you like how Deepa said that many of you saw the responses also? Many of you responded about material. Do you all remember your responses? Those of you who have completed that endeavor. Do you all remember from chapter 1 what you can see? Did you all answer about material things only? Hare Krishna, I have a lot of silence. Participate. Talk to me. Do you remember your answers from what you can see? Question from chapter 1.
Yes, Prabhuji.
What was your answer?
I answered that when we go out, we are seeing lots of vehicles. They are just running. Morning, they are going out. Evening, they are coming. It just they are back and forth going. But what they are doing, they also don't know. Just
All right.
life and time going.
Yeah, material. Okay.
We're seeing roads and buildings.
Okay, material. You're seeing material. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji, material.
So the funny part is, this question that I asked you for chapter 7, verses 8, 9, and 10 is actually a repeat question. The same question, what you can see. So all of you answered in chapter 1 that you could only see material things. But I will soon bring up on screen that now many of you are able to see spirituality, meaning you are able to see Krishna around you. This is spectacular transformation. Therefore, I said that those of you devotees, just a few of you, who chose not to complete this very important mandatory spiritual endeavor, you will soon realize what all you missed in by not doing this endeavor. So all those devotees, there are just very few of you who did not complete this spiritual endeavor for chapter 7, verses 8, 9, and 10. You should have an offline chat with me to ensure that your contamination doesn't grow, and whatever fine tune is required, we do the fine tune. So in these verses 8 to 11, Krishna will give examples of how Krishna pervades the entire material existence, how Krishna is the essence of everything. Okay, so let's read, and I will show you the spectacular drawings from you all devotees. It was amazing. You all will see the amazement part also. Parth Prabhu, can you please read verse number 8 translation?
Prabhuji, should I read?
Yeah, Ritu, go ahead.
O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound and ether and ability in man. Hare Krishna.
So Krishna explains about taste of water. Now, everybody please participate with me. You have been a little silent. Now, water is different in different countries with different taste. So what does it mean? Krishna says, I am the taste of water. And some may also say that water is actually tasteless. And some also consider that water does have a distinctive taste. You actually go to different cities Some places you will find water to be salty, some place water to be sweet. So water is different many places. And what does this actually mean where Krishna says, I am the taste of water? Srivastava Prabhu, I'll come back to you. Let me first finish. So I will play Chaitanya Chanda's lecture here, and I will briefly describe. What Krishna is explaining is that how Krishna is the underlying force by which taste becomes accessible through water. So has any one of you ever tried to eat a dry chapati? Anybody ever? Srivastava Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, many times when I was a kid.
What happens with dry chapati?
Tasteless in a sense.
Tasteless, exactly. So we'll hear from Chaitanya Chandas that chapati does not have to be liquid like a soup, but there has to be little water for the taste to become accessible. And that's what Krishna is explaining, that how Krishna is the essence of water, meaning how taste becomes accessible to us because of water. And that is the essence, and that essence is Krishna. So let me first play Chaitanya Chanda's lecture here, short lecture, just less than a minute, 2 minutes. Take notes and we will come back to discuss. Real eye-opener lecture.
So rasoham apsu kampeya. So rasa is taste. I am the taste of apsu. Apsu is water. What does this mean with all this background? Actually, taste becomes accessible to us through water. What does that mean? If our secretory glands did not stop secreting saliva. Saliva is basically a transformation of water. It's primarily water with some other digestive chemicals added into it. If the tongue stops secreting saliva, which is water, then you will not be able to taste anything. So similarly, an object to be tasty has to have some level of water presence in it. Generally we say something is, if a chapati says, it's dry and tasteless. A chapati doesn't have to be liquid like soup, but still a chapati has to have some amount of liquidity. If that liquid presence goes out of the chapati, then we say it's become dry, it's become tasteless. So that means it's the presence of water that makes the tastes accessible to us. In that sense, the essence of water is its taste. So water is the medium by which we are able to experience taste, and that taste is Krishna. So what Krishna is saying over here, I am the underlying unifying essence of everything. So this is basically a section which enables us to understand that Krishna is not just present in far away in the spiritual world, but he's all around us.
All right, what did he explain? Somebody quickly.
He's saying Krishna is all around us.
Okay, what did he explain about water?
Water is the medium through which we can experience taste.
Okay, very good.
Water is very important to
Yeah,
access the taste.
Very good. Srivastava
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji. Infallible, unchanging, all-pervading, and also required for taste activation.
Okay, so water makes all taste accessible. And that's what Krishna is saying. Krishna is the essence of water through which all taste become accessible to us. Not just the chapati example, anything you can take. So water makes all other taste accessible to us, and water gives taste to all the objects that we consider tasty. So through saliva, water makes the taste accessible to us and gives taste to all other objects that we consider tasty. Then he also explains about the essence of sun and moon is the light coming from them. So the sunlight and the moonlight is Krishna's energy. So question is, what does Krishna mean when Krishna says, I am the light of sun and moon? The answer is, it is Krishna's energy that manifests through sun and moon. It is by Krishna's arrangement that sun and moon give the light. That's how you can understand that Krishna says, I am the light of sun and moon. So basically understand what we heard from Chaitanya Das also, that these verses 8, 9, 10, 11 are meant to make us remember Krishna 24 hours. So you either see the sun or you see the moon. You can remember Krishna. You drink water many times during the day, remember Krishna. If you look at the sky is blue because it is a reflection of Krishna's bluish body coming through Brahman effulgence. So remember Krishna. This is the reason why I gave you this exercise, to make you remember Krishna 24 hours. You will soon see these spectacular drawings from all devotees as soon as I finish discussing these verses. Further, Om. Om is considered as the most important of all sounds. In general, Om is considered holy and important Vedic mantra. Generally begin with Om. Now question will come up that if Om is so powerful, then can we just chant Om instead of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? The answer is that there is no ban to chant Om. In general, we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra because chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the Yuga Dharma for Kali Yuga. Hare Krishna Maha Mantra invokes the absolute truth in a personal way. Om is most often used to refer to absolute truth in a non-personal way. Example, you can refer to a prime minister by name. That is a personal way of referring to the prime minister. You refer to prime minister as prime minister. Well, that's a designation and it's a formal way of referring. And more close personal way of calling the prime minister would be, say, the family members of the prime minister calling the prime minister by his nickname. So there are various ways you can refer to the absolute truth. Om is non-personal way of referring to the absolute truth. While chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is invoking the personal absolute truth. Therefore, we have to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So addressing the same person can be addressed with different degrees of intimacy from the example of Prime Minister that I gave. And similarly, you can address the absolute truth as Krishna, Govinda, Gopal, Yashodanandan, Shyam Sundar. These are intimate and personal forms of address of the absolute truth. Om is formal, non-personal form of address of the absolute truth. Om is a generic reference and not even referring to a person. So this Om, what is Om, is discussed in chapter 17 of Bhagavad Gita. So Om is a generic way. So somebody doesn't know that God is a person. He just thinks that there is some higher spiritual power. He doesn't know anything. So he's referring to O as that higher spiritual power. But devotees, they don't use Om to refer to Supreme Personality of Godhead. When we are chanting that mantra, some mantra in Vedic scripture that begin with Om, yes, at that time we chant Om. But for our daily meditation, we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And then in the verse, talks about abilities. So many individuals in the material world have distinctive abilities. For example, almost all of us are from India and around region in Nepal. We all know cricket. There are so many cricketers with special abilities. For example, you have Dhoni, you have Kohli, you have Bumrah. There are so many. So when you see cricket and you see these cricketers performing specially because of their abilities, remember 7.8, that ability comes from Krishna. You can even use cricket to remember Krishna. We only focus on that so-and-so cricketer is doing so-and-so wonder things. Well, that doesn't help you. But if you take it to the next step of remembering that this ability has come from Krishna, then it becomes yoga, and you can use everything in the material world to remember Krishna. Therefore, I say this exercise is how to remember Krishna 24 hours. I will play another short lecture of Chetan Chandas, just about 2 minutes short lecture, where Prabhupada described this same set of verses, 7.8, 9, 10, and 11, on how to see Krishna 24 hours around us. So all of a sudden, your statement so far would have been, I cannot remember Krishna. But all of a sudden, from this discussion, as well as the visual that I'm about to show you, your statement would change something to like, I cannot forget Krishna. He is around me 24 hours. So if anybody comes to that level, let me know. Let me first play Chaitanya's lecture here about how to be able to see Krishna 24 hours around us.
So, Prabhupada quoted this verse once the devotees were in Visakhapatnam, this is where Leelamrit. So, when they were at Prabhupada's Godbrother's ashram, and nearby there was the ocean. So the devotees decided to go and bathe. And Prabhupada said, you go and it's a sacred place. I think some holy place was there. The water over there was some holy place. So the devotees went to bathe, and their earlier experience of swimming was largely sensual. Now people go to swimming pools and they basically go for enjoyment. Now the devotees were getting the past memories and they're thinking, this is really Krishna conscious. And then they asked Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, generally if we go to any sacred river, the sacred river, then actually we sip a little bit of the water. Prabhupada quoted this verse, we are tasting the water is Krishna. And then Prabhupada says, over in the sun is there. Krishna says, I am the light of the sun. Then we are chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, that is equivalent to Pranava. Pranava is Sarvedish, Om and Hare Krishna are the same. And then Shabdakhe, Paurusham Vishnu. Shabdakhe, he says that actually the sound, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the Krishna Katha that you are doing, there is also Krishna. And then whatever ability to swim you have, that is also Krishna. So we are surrounded by Krishna everywhere. How can we forget Krishna? And then they would have been thinking, how can we remember Krishna? So it's the situation. But Prabhupada revealed to them that how when we understand that Krishna is the essence of everything, then it becomes much easier for us to remember Krishna, because we start seeing Krishna everywhere and in everything. So this is how this this whole section is primarily a means for us to go deeper into the remembrance of Krishna.
Okay, was everybody able to listen? Megha says she was not able to listen.
Yeah, I was also not able to hear properly.
Okay, Parth, okay. Some were able to listen.
The recording is not very clear.
Yeah, clear is they are 50 some years old. I cannot help that. But were you able to hear, or you want me to play it again? Like some were able to listen, some were not.
Not really. Can we hear again?
Okay, let me play it again. And let's see if you are able to listen. I mean, the recordings are old. I cannot change that. They are 50 some years old. I cannot change that fact. But many of you were able to listen. Some are not able to listen. I cannot help it. So adjust the volume at your end. And let's see, I'll play this again.
So, Prabhupada quoted this verse once the devotees were in Visakhapatnam.
Are you able to listen? Megha, Partha?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can listen.
It's the same, Prabhuji. It's the same quality.
Yes, to some extent.
Quality I
Very
cannot change. It's 50-year-old recording. I cannot change the quality. If you are not able to hear is what I am saying. Quality I cannot change.
No. Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
All right.
Prabhuji, if possible, can you please read it out?
So let's hear, and devotees will explain what they heard, and it should become clear. So let me play. Or you can listen to the recording path, Prabhu, or those who are not able to listen.
So, Prabhupada quoted this verse once the devotees were in Visakhapatnam. This is where Leelamrita. So, when they were at one of Prabhupada's godbrother's ashram, and nearby there was the ocean. So the devotees decided to go and bathe. And Prabhupada said, "You go and it's a sacred place." I think some holy place was there. The water over there was some holy place. So the devotees went to bathe, and their earlier experience of swimming was largely sensual. Now people go to swimming pools, and they basically go for enjoyment. Now the devotees were getting the past memories, and they're thinking, "This is really Krishna conscious." And then they asked Prabhupada, and Prabhupada said, generally if you go to any sacred river, the sacred river, then actually we sip a little bit of the water. So Prabhupada quoted this verse, "You're tasting the water is Krishna." And then Prabhupada says, "Over in the sun is there." Krishna says, I am the light of the sun." Then we are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is equivalent to Pranava. Pranava is Sarvavedish, Om and Hare Krishna are the same. And then Shabda Khe, Shabda Khe, he said that actually the sound, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Krishna Katha that you are doing, that is also Krishna. And then whatever ability to swim you have, that is also Krishna. So we are surrounded by Krishna everywhere. How can we forget Krishna? And the devotees have been thinking, how can we remember Krishna? So it's the situation. But Prabhupada revealed to them that how, when we understand that Krishna is the essence of everything, then it becomes much easier for us to remember Krishna, because we start seeing Krishna everywhere and in everything. So this is how this whole section is primarily a means for us to go deeper into the remembrance of Krishna.
All right. Somebody can please explain what we all were you able to listen, and others who are not able to listen can get the benefit. Srivastava Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. It was a little choppy, but I got it. So you have a set of devotees, and with Prabhupada, they're by the ocean side. They decide to take a plunge in the water, and the narration is that it is a sensual experience for them. So they come back to Prabhupada and they tell him that how can we remember Krishna when we are actually engaging in sense gratification, which is when Prabhupada helps them remember that the water is actually Krishna, and so is their ability. And even Shabda Pramana through the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Shabda itself is Krishna. So essentially we are actually surrounded by Krishna, and we are simply a projection, if you would, an individual small projection of his infinite capabilities and
All
abilities.
right, very good. Very good. Hearing with rapt attention. Rest of you.
Prabhuji, in addition to this, there was one more line, ability to swim is also Krishna. This
Yeah.
was also mentioned there.
Yeah, so the swimming example was given that water is Krishna, the sun above you is Krishna. The Krishna Katha that you are discussing is also Krishna. Your ability to swim, that ability comes from Krishna. So many devotees were thinking how to remember Krishna, and Prabhupada showed through these verses, it's impossible to forget Krishna. All of you, can you now forget Krishna? Yes, no, silence.
No, Prabhu. Not.
Only Srivastava Prabhu.
It becomes easy to remember Krishna.
Okay, very good. That's our goal. That's our goal of this exercise. Tara.
Yes, Prabhuji, once we understand this, that Krishna is the essence of everything that's around us or everything that exists, then now it will become easier.
Okay, very good. All right. So let's try to finish this discussion. Janisha, verse number 9 translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat in the fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penances of all ascetics.
Okay, very good. So when we put seed in a soil, seed does not have any fragrance. When you watering the seed, the water does not have any fragrance. But the flower that comes out has charming fragrance. Therefore, the fragrance comes from earth. And many of us are from India and Nepal. You would have noticed that the first rain that you get an amazing fragrance from earth. And that's what Krishna is saying. You can remember Krishna. That fragrance comes from earth, or even flowers, the example I gave. Krishna is all around us. So in 7.8, Krishna said that he is the light of sun and moon. And now in 7.9, he says that Krishna is the heat of the fire. And what defines all living beings is the life, and life ultimately comes from Krishna. And capacity to do austerity is the extraordinary capacity, and this capacity, this ability also comes from Krishna. So just further examples on how to remember Krishna 24 hours. All right, Raksha, verse number 10 translation.
O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seed of all existence, the intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men. Hare Krishna.
So when you plant a seed, the seed gets transformed into a tree, and then the seed no longer exists. Plus, one seed generally only gives you one type of tree. But here Krishna says, I am the seed that gives birth of all kinds of living entities. Plus, Krishna says, I am the seed that never gets exhausted. And say when you are in school, colleges, some have brilliant abilities to understand and analyze. That ability, that brilliance comes from Krishna. So next time you are in a school or college setup or studying anything and you see somebody brilliant, well, remember Krishna. And some are very powerful. So we have to recognize that the power also comes from Krishna. All right, follow me. Verse number 11 translation.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Just a second. I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life, which is not contrary to the religious principles, O Lord of the Bharatas.
So Krishna continues, he says, I am the strength of the strong, that strength that is free from desire and attachment. And Kshatriya, when they have to act or fight, they should act out of dharma as a duty, as protector of others. And this ability comes from Krishna. So Krishna is that kind of sex, the desire which is not contrary to dharma. So this refers to how Krishna is asking Arjuna to recognize that in all aspects of life around us, 24 hours, one can perceive Krishna's presence. So, as I stated at the start of this section, that this section, as we also heard from Chetan Chandas, this set of verses are meant for us to see Krishna's presence 24 hours around us through his energies. If some Babaji tells you that they will show you God or Krishna in 2, 3, 4, 6 months, run very far away, because it is not possible for anyone to show you God. God can only be seen only when God reveals himself, just as in Bhagavad Gita chapter 11, the universal form was seen by Arjuna only when Krishna revealed. The universal form existed from before, but only when Krishna revealed is when it is possible to see. Until that time, until Krishna reveals himself, we are supposed to see Krishna via his energies. And I did not make this up. This is actually described by Dhruv Maharaj. So Dhruv Maharaj, at a very young age, around 5 years of age, became a pure devotee by performing strong sadhana. And the verse that we are about to read from Canto 4, which I have on the screen, it's 4.9.7. So this verse, Dhruv Maharaj is speaking after he got purified and he got this spiritual vision. And this is the verse he is speaking. So Samma, if you can please read the translation and purport from the screen.
My Lord, you are the Supreme One, but by your different energies, you appear differently in the spiritual and material worlds. You create the total energy of the material world by your external potency, and after creation, you enter within the material world as the super soul. You are the supreme person, and through the temporary modes of material nature, you create varieties of manifestation, just as fire entering into wood of different shapes burns brilliantly in different varieties.
Continue, purport.
Purport. Dhruv Maharaj realized that the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, acts through his different energies, not that he becomes void or impersonal and thus becomes all pervading. The Mayavadi philosopher thinks that the absolute truth, being spread throughout the cosmic manifestation, has no personal form. But here, Dhruv Maharaj, upon realization of the Vedic conclusion, says, you are spread all over the cosmic manifestation by your energy. This energy is basically spiritual, but because it acts in the material world temporarily, it is called Maya or illusory energy. In other words, for everyone but the devotees, the Lord's energy acts as external energy. Dhruv Maharaj could understand this fact very nicely, and he could understand also that the energy and the energetic are the one and the same. The energy cannot be separated from the energetic. The identity of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in feature of Paramatma or Supreme Soul is admitted herein. His original spiritual energy enlivens the material energy, and thus the dead body appears to have life force. Biodist philosophers think that under certain material conditions, the symptoms of life occur in the material world, material body, but the fact is that the material body cannot act on its own. Even a machine needs separate energy, electricity, steam, etc. It is stated in this verse that the material energy acts in varieties of material bodies, just as fire burns differently in different wood according to the size and quality of the wood. In the case of devotees, the same energy is transformed into spiritual energy, and this is possible because the energy is originally spiritual, not material. As it is said in Vishnu Sakit Para Proktam, the original energy inspires a devotee, and thus he engages all his bodily limbs in the service of the Lord. The same energy as external potency engages the ordinary non devotees in material activities for sense enjoyment. We should mark the difference between Maya and Swadharma. For devotees, the Swadharma acts, whereas in case of non devotees, the Maya energy acts.
So Dhruv Maharaj is explaining that Krishna exists in the material world via his energies, and we have learned examples from these verses on how to see Krishna 24 around us, 24 hours around us. Questions, comments, realizations?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Go ahead.
Prabhuji, I have two questions. First is that how do we see this ability point uh, different from the statement when it is said like someone did good karma, so they got this ability?
So ability is also based on karma. It's not different. You are getting a particular ability because you have a particular karma.
But then if we look at that way, then the person becomes responsible for the ability, right? We don't see Krishna in that, like, at least superficially.
Yeah, but Krishna has given that ability. That's the point being made. Yes, you have done a karma, but Krishna gave you the ability to exhaust that karma.
Okay, thank you.
Srivatsa Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu. I had a question. First of all, apologies, I was a little late today. My phone, but I'll message you later. With regards to Swadharma, I had a question. And
Your question about
forgetfulness.
Swadharma is little off topic. You can discuss it offline. I have a question related to this, so you can ask now.
Okay, can I ask about forgetfulness?
Forgetfulness. Okay, go ahead.
Forgetfulness, like let's say you forget your path because of XYZ distractions. But in the other advanced class that I take, the Mataji was saying that Krishna invariably brings you back to the pure devotees. He is kind of, let's say,
What's your question?
Forgiven. I'm getting to the question, Prabhuji. The question is that when exercising these laws, does Krishna have favorites? I don't know whether that's the right word. Is that
So
are some of the devotees closer?
Krishna does not have favorite. You can read 9.29. Krishna says, I am equal to everyone. So in 9.29, he says, I am equal to everyone. I am partial and impartial. So how do you understand this? What this means is Krishna is equal to everyone. He is equal to everyone means the ability or the facility for devotional service is open to everyone. Simultaneously, Krishna provides for their material existence to everyone, even terrorists and demons. Krishna is still providing for their food and shelter. So Krishna is equal to everyone. Simultaneously, he says that if someone is a devotee, Krishna takes further personal interest into that devotee to further his progress on the path of spirituality. Does that help you?
Yes, Prabhu. So
Okay,
it's
so
after
this
us.
example, I want you to stop here, Srivastava Prabhu. I
Yes,
want you to
Prabhu.
listen to past class recording where we have discussed this very, very important point. This topic is offline, both your questions. Prabhupada has explained that you should listen to the class recording. Your first should be to listen to class recording and ask inquiries from there. If you have questions of your own, nothing wrong with your questions. Your questions of your own means you are not listening, you are talking to yourself in your head.
No, I'm not doing that, Prabhu. I just don't have access to the class recordings. That's all it is.
You should connect with me offline and we can
Yes,
discuss.
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
All right. So I'm going to show you now the slides that the devotees did the spiritual endeavor for these set of verses. So you don't need to worry about taking snapshots for this. I'm going to post this in the chat very soon, so you can just download. So just visualize how devotees saw Krishna 24 hours around them. This was the exercise, and all of you did spectacular in this exercise. So let me play this slide. So one devotee made drawing by hand with Krishna in the center, and the devotee says that tried to capture Krishna's flute and feather in the center, and everything is surrounding him. Another devotee saw Krishna everywhere, like the sun, the clouds, the birds, the home as a temple, the fire, the water, the flowers, everywhere. The devotee is seeing Krishna everywhere. Another devotee again made Krishna in the center and saw Krishna all around us. So this is our entire exercise to be able to see Krishna 24 hours. Another devotee simply described on how to see Krishna around us. So do understand that I did shrink some of your wordings to come to the point and to be able to fit on slides rather than going on and on for the slides. Another devotee also describe with some visuals all the same points from what we discussed in 7.8, 9, and 10 about water, sun, moon, Om, flower, the fragrance from the soil, everything. Another devotee again used visuals to describe how Krishna is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent everywhere. So you can just see Krishna around us 24 hours. And further, the devotee described how Krishna is present everywhere, whether it is Shakuni or whether it is pure devotee like Prabhupada, does not matter. Krishna is everywhere. Another devotee created a short video. It's a silent video. Let me play the video. So the devotee is using to show water and then other elements, and then Krishna comes again and again. Now sun comes. So the devotee is just using this and created a video to describe the same points from the verses. All right. So another devotee also created a little image that how Krishna is the center of everything, using all the points from the verses. Another devotee again created a visual similar. So you all got the exact same verse, but you all saw Krishna differently. This is your unique ability, all of you. So you can even see Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita that you have, and all the points. And if you actually zoom in, I can actually zoom in this image. The devotee also has the word Hare Krishna in the background. All right, so I will continue. Another devotee again made a drawing how Krishna is in the center of everything. Another devotee also used visuals and a description to describe how Krishna is the ultimate truth of everything, and how about sun and moon, and that he is the Supreme Personality. Another devotee also used visual and description to describe how Krishna is the hidden power in everything, like the taste of waters, light of sun, moon, life, and everything here. Another devotee made a nice little poem about the essence of eternity. Very nice poem. I'll send this to you and you can read it. Another devotee used another visual. Again, all of you had unique abilities to see Krishna using your respective abilities from the same verse. Another devotee again used visual to describe. Now this devotee has done this exercise multiple times and did it differently. Previous time was something different, and now this time is something different. Why? Because you just are able to see Krishna in different ways. That is spectacular. And the devotee continues to again use visuals and to describe Krishna from the various points of the verses. Same point continues, the visuals and the descriptions. Another devotee again did a different way of describing the same, how Krishna is the tree and everything is just coming from Krishna and resting on Krishna. The devotee described the essence of verses 7.8, 9, and 10. I will anyway be sending you this to you, and further continue to describe all the points from the verses. And I have highlighted in yellow what we are discussing, and we heard from Chaitanya Das. Krishna is saying, look at these everyday things. I am there. You don't need to go far to find me. Krishna is present physically, mentally, spiritually, and life cannot thrive without Krishna. And the devotee continues for the description. This is a little longer. I'm going to just roll through longer description of devotees describing the same points. So I'm going to post this in the chat for you all right now. You can download and look at it and read it again and again to see how you all are able to see Krishna 24 hours. Questions, comments, realizations?
Prabhuji, today's class was very, very informative and interesting. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you for listening with rapt attention. All right. So the last words, just bear with me for a few more minutes and I will just finish shortly. Verse number 12, Srivatsa Prabhu, are you able to read 7.12 translation?
Sure, Prabhu. I'll have to bring up Veda base.
Okay. Whosoever has not read can please read. Ritu, go ahead.
All states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am in one sense everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of this material nature. Hare Krishna.
Right. So what we already discussed with Chandra's question earlier, that what Krishna is saying, that don't think I am reduced to or existing just as the essence of what is described in 8, 9, 10, 11. No, Krishna says I have my own distinct personality and individuality. It is not that I am under the three modes, rather the three modes are under me. Material nature is just one of my energies. So Krishna is never contained within nature. Krishna transcends nature. 7.7, the Pearl verse, Krishna says, I am the unifying underlying thread of everything. And some may say that Krishna is just a thread. No, Krishna says, yes, I am the thread, meaning the essence that holds the necklace, but I am much more. I have my own Shyam Sundar form which exists in Goloko Vrindavan. The thread is just inside the necklace and not anywhere else. But Krishna is saying, yes, thread is there inside the necklace, but I am distinctive also, and I have my own separate existence. They are all in me, but I am not in them. So some of you may have had this thought that I cannot remember Krishna most of the time, and now you tell me how it has changed, or will it change to I cannot forget Krishna 24 hours. Anybody there? Anybody will be at that level to always remember Krishna?
I will try my best, Prabhu.
Very good. Very good. Okay, so as I mentioned that few of you who did not complete this very, very important spiritual endeavor, I request you to please have a chat with me offline to ensure whatever fine tuning is required. Thank you for tolerating about 5, 6 extra minutes. Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.